What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Back with my original segment, Boxing Ego's First Look. If you're new to the channel, what First Look is, it's a tale of the tape, give you guys some facts, preview the fight before the fight. Now, this weekend we got John Molina Jr. squaring off against Ruslan Provodnikov. I'm really looking forward to this fight. It has a good undercard with names like DEMETRIUS, ANDRADE versus Willie Nelson, which should be another good fight. HBO has a fight that is on at the conflicting times at the same time, so I'm definitely going to watch the Showtime card first and DVR the Vasyl Lomachenko, Rocky Martinez HBO card, because I think this is just overall a better card and it'll probably be more action. I didn't do an official prediction video for Vasyl Lomachenko, but even though he's coming up in weight, I fully expect him to take that title off of Rocky Martinez. Now, for this fight, John Molina Jr., Ruslan Provodnikov, good crossroads fight for two hard-hitting 140-pounders. You got Ruslan Provodnikov, who he's given people tough fights, but he lost a lot of his big fights. You look at Timothy Bradley, Mauricio Herrera, Lucas Matisse. Even if they're competitive, sometimes he batters the opponents and makes their faces look unrecognizable, Chris Algieri, things like that. But he's been on the losing side of those fights. So he's looking, he partnered up with Joel Diaz, switched trainers to try to work on some of the basics and the fundamentals. Obviously, at this point of his career, he's not going to be able to change him being a warrior or give him a Pernell Whitaker defense, but he's looking to seek some type of improvements after the Matisse fight. And he fought in Russia's last fight against a no-namer, Rodriguez, I believe is his name, and he knocked him out. So this is the first big name that he's really in there with Joel Diaz as his trainer. So I'm looking forward to that partnership, see what kind of advice that Joel Diaz gives him and how Joel Diaz prepares him and has him looking for this type of in the trenches war. Because again, when he fought Lucas Matisse, he wasn't with Joel Diaz. So I want to see what, as a trainer, Joel Diaz will be able to do. Same thing for John Molina. Crossroads fight for him. He had a suspension for testing positive for something. Then he sat on the sidelines. He did make a comeback and had a fight, and it was against, again, a no-namer, just like Ruslan Provodnikov situation. And before that, before he just got that knockout on PBC, he had a string of losses. Now, granted, he was fighting top competition like Adrian Broner, Humberto Soto, and Lucas Matisse, but those are all back-to-back losses. I believe 3 losses in a row. So both guys, in my opinion, really need a win in this particular fight, because it's great that they're fan favorites and exciting, but boxing is an unforgiving sport, and when people have a bunch of consecutive losses, it's hard to get those opportunities. So both guys are really, I feel, gonna come to impress and really try to win this thing, because this is a good crossroads fight, and they know this is Ruslan's first time on Showtime, and John Molina again has some recent losses. I think in his last 4 fights he won 1 and he lost 3. So they know for the big fights to come and continue coming, they have to look good and win this in an exciting fashion. You know what I mean? No matter how much of a warrior you are, you still have to win in this business. Now let's take a look at the tail of the tape. John Molina Jr. has a record of 28-6. Ruslan Provodnikov has a record of 25-4. Age is very close. There's a 1-year difference. John Molina Jr. is 33 years old and Ruslan Provodnikov is 32. Now, this is an important factor. The height. John Molina Jr. is tall for the 140-pound division at 5 foot 10.5 inches. And Ruslan Provodnikov, very compact, very squatty. He's only 5'6". So that's a huge height advantage for John Molina Jr. Now, this fight is taking place at junior welterweight, 140 pounds. And the reach advantage also goes to the taller man, John Molina Jr. He has a reach of 71 inches to Ruslan's 66 inches. So that height and reach advantage for John Molina Jr. makes this interesting. I don't know who's opening up at the favorite. I would say Ruslan Provodnikov might open up as the favorite in this particular fight, but it'll be interesting because you got to respect John Molina Jr.'s power, and the shorter man, even though that's his MO, is to get on the inside and make it a nasty fight. They both have power. I just feel Ruslan Provodnikov will definitely have to respect the frame and the power of John Molina Jr. And then the same thing with John Molina Jr. He has to respect Ruslan Provodnikov's power. And Ruslan is the type of person. I mean, Lucas Matisse, Timothy Bradley is on record saying he's been in there with Ruslan Provodnikov, and he says nobody hit him harder than Lucas Matisse in sparring. So obviously Matisse has power because Bradley, a formidable elite level fighter, said even with headgear and only sparring, he said Matisse has power, more power than Ruslan. There was an interview I seen where he said that. So point being is this: Ruslan was like really walking through, his face was getting busted up, but he was really walking through all of Lucas Matisse's shots. And Lucas Matisse has a lot of power, as evident. That's a mutual opponent they both have. John Molina and Ruslan both fought Matisse. John Molina Jr. actually did pretty well, knocked him down 2 times, but Ruslan is tough. And again, if he's walking through Matisse's best shots, especially in those opening 2 rounds, then it's hard to keep a guy like that off of him. But on the flip side of that, with warriors like Ruslan Provodnikov having all these wars and all this mileage on you from having a lack of defense, you never know when that's going to catch up to you. So even the toughest guys, like you look at Antonio Margarito, he had tough wars with Mosley and then Pacquiao. Then he retired and he came back and he's getting dropped by a guy who was coming up in weight and had just been stopped by Jose Benavidez. So you know what I mean? It's not good. It's not good to lack defense, because sometimes those wars, they age you and they'll creep up on you, and then all of a sudden a fighter who was known for taking shots all of a sudden can't take shots. So it's an interesting fight on Showtime. Shout out to HAYMON, shout out to Showtime and the fighters, John Molina Jr. and Ruslan Provodnikov. They both know what's on the line for this particular fight. May the best man win. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.